Good afternoon. I'm Sean Yao, and this is One News Now. Outgoing Justice Secretary Menardo Guevarra went over the transition at the DOJ and other matters in a public forum today. Let's get some details from Greg Gregorio, who's reporting to us live from Manila. Hi, Greg. Good afternoon. First, did outgoing Secretary Guevarra we know that outgoing Secretary Menardo Guevarra only took over the DOJ in 2018 after Vitaliano Aguirre's resignation. And now that Secretary Guevarra is preparing to exit, what did he think were the highlights of his career at the DOJ in the last 4 years?
Hi, Sean. Good afternoon. During the public forum earlier, Secretary Menardo Guevarra, or outgoing Justice Secretary Guevarra, has mentioned one by one some of the landmark cases that the Department of Justice has accomplished in the recent 4 years or since he assumed office as Secretary of the Department. And Guevarra mentioned a number of cases such as the pyramiding cases of Balahadhay, John Jalani kidnapping case, the sitting murder case, the Vero Air tax evasion case, and of course, the conviction of some individuals behind the Maguindanao massacre, which was given in 2019. Sean?
Right. In a meeting, Greg, his successor, Boying Remulla, described the system as masalimuot. Did Guevarra elaborate on what Remulla might have meant?
Yes, Sean, according to outgoing Secretary Guevarra, incoming Secretary Remulla must probably be referring to a large or wide array of responsibilities that he would be taking on once he would seat or take office as a Secretary of the Department of Justice. As explained by Guevarra, he also had the same experience when he assumed office in 2018, considering that the Department of Justice has about 10 to 11 attached agencies, including the National Bureau of Investigation, the Bureau of Immigration, as well as other government agencies under the umbrella of the Department of Justice. Sean?
Right. Outgoing Secretary of Justice Guevarra also said that the DOJ's drug war review has so far been the most sensitive case that he has taken on. Did he expound on why this is the case?
Yeah, Sean, Guevarra admitted that, yes, the implementation of the drug war or the war on drugs by the Duterte administration is one of the most sensitive cases that he had to take on, because Guevarra admitted that at one hand, President Duterte made a directive to law enforcement agencies to be all out against these individuals behind the proliferation of illegal drugs. But on the other hand, as a chief of the Department of Justice, he would need to ensure that all of these law enforcement agencies or individuals will be accountable in all of their procedures. And Guevarra mentioned that the president understood where he was coming from, and that even as there are times that they have opposite or opposing views on certain matters, the president did not even call out Guevarra at any single moment. And President Duterte even said, or even told Guevarra that President Duterte will never interfere in his responsibilities as Secretary of Justice, so long as Guevarra would only follow what the law says. Sean?
Right, and did Secretary Guevarra give any other reaction on the issue of the mask mandate in Cebu now in his final weeks of service?
Yeah, Sean, Guevarra highlighted that all of the guidelines issued by the Interagency Task Force, or the IATF, are in accordance to the directives of the President Duterte as Chief Executive of the country. Thus, the local executive units or the local chief executives are expected to somehow align with with the guidelines issued by the IATF as ordered by President Duterte. Now this ordinance issued by the Cebu province making the use of face mask as optional, Guevarra said this is inconsistent with the national regulation. Thus, Governor Gwen Garcia of the Cebu province, Guevarra suggests that Cebu province Governor Garcia must then appeal to IATF instead to possibly modify the existing rules, and they just have to present a scientific basis for the IATF to probably consider in this move for the making or for changing the regulation on the use of face masks amid this COVID-19 pandemic. Sean?
All right, thank you so much for all those updates. Greg Gregorio reporting to us live from Manila. And the Health Department has stressed the need for all regions in the country to keep the face mask mandate. In an interview with Agenda, DOH spokesperson Maria Rosario Vergeres said there will be a higher risk of cross-border COVID-19 transmission if LGUs impose different mask protocols. This comes on the back of some LGUs reportedly already studying the possibility of making face masks optional outdoors, as they did in the province of Cebu.
We cannot have a republic within a republic. We know that the virus crosses borders. So alam po natin na halimbawa ang isang area hindi siya magpapatupad ng isang protocol, maaring ang transmission ay magtuloy-tuloy. And that is not what we want for now.
Meanwhile, despite the uptick in COVID-19 infections, Vergeres said that declaring Alert Level 2 COVID-19 status is still very much premature. Vergeres explained that the country has to log in 6,000 daily cases for 2 weeks straight for Level 2 or Alert Level 2 to be imposed. Currently, the Philippines is recording 270 COVID-19 cases per day on average.
Hindi pa ho tayo dumadating dun sa punto na kailangan natin mag-escalate. Kailangan lang talaga, all of us should strictly comply with these minimum public health standards at magpabakuna na tayo and booster kapag eligible na tayo.
And COVID-19 hospital admissions in Metro Manila are still manageable, according to the Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines, or PHAPI. However, Association President Jose de Grano told the big story that while COVID-19 admissions remain low, some hospitals are now seeing an increase in non-COVID patients, particularly people with diabetes and hypertension.
The number of COVID admissions is really not that much. It's really still manageable. Biglang tumaas yung cases natin ng non-COVID. And actually, the hospitals are almost full.
On the other hand, Philippine College of Physicians former President Dr. Maricar Limpin told the chiefs that the government should allocate funds for post-COVID care. Limpin says there has been a significant number of people reporting persistent and prolonged COVID symptoms, even months after their recovery from COVID-19.
It will require some resources, as far as government is concerned, to make sure that these people will remain as healthy as possible, even after they have come out of COVID-19 infection.
One News Now will be back with more stories after this quick break. Keep it here. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. Former Senator Juan Ponce Enrile claims that there are groups in the Philippines and the United States that are, quote, looking to cause trouble for President-elect Bongbong Marcos. In a Facebook post, Enrile advised national security officials to shore up intelligence gathering. Enrile, who is also a former defense minister, did not disclose any details about the supposed threats, only stating that the information is credible. Bongbong Marcos is set to take his oath on June 30, and as far as authorities are concerned, there are no serious threats to the event. In other news, the MMDA wants stricter regulation on the use of e-bikes and e-scooters after an increase in reported road accidents this year. MMDA Chairman Romando Artes told Radio 5 that owners of e-bikes and scooters will not be required to get driver's licenses. However, they will be required to wear helmets and other safety gear. They will also not be allowed in major highways and only in barangay roads. The MMDA, though, has yet to clarify with the LTO if there will be a need to register these e-vehicles.
Continuous naman po yung coordination namin at pinag-uusapan pa po namin yan para po refine po yung regulation po regarding e-scooter. Kikita nyo rin sa social media na nagba-viral na nasa gitna ng EDSA, humaharurot, walang helmet, walang safety gear. Kaya po, at marami rin pong insidente na aksidente involving bikes at yung mga e-scooters. Kaya po, kailangan din naman po natin sigurong mag-regulate.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. A gun ban will be imposed in Davao City and Metro Manila as part of security measures for the oath-taking ceremonies of Vice President-elect Sara Duterte on June 19 and President-elect Bongbong Marcos on June 30. Authorities have also declared the inauguration sites as no-fly zones for these dates. The SUV driver who ran over a security guard in Mandaluyong City has finally surrendered to authorities. The driver, who is identified as Jose Antonio San Vicente, has apologized for the incident and will be explaining his side further in a hearing on Friday. International K-pop sensation BTS will be taking a break from the music scene to focus on their solo acts. However, they have assured fans that they are not disbanding and will be back soon. For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News Live anytime, anywhere. Masks on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I am Sean Yao. We are One News.